Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Morning Devotion. Hope you had a wonderful night's rest. Let's start off by offering a greeting, a bow to our heavenly parents and true parents. 천진 참모님께 경배. 바로. Now to lead us through the family pledge, I'd like to invite up Reverend Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천여국 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천여국 주인, 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천여국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 시민의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Reverend Milhan Stevens. And now to open us up in prayer, I'd like to invite up our ACLC coordinator from New York, Reverend Edner Pierre-Louis.
Thank you. Let us bow our heads, brothers and sisters. Our Heavenly Parent, we give thanks. We give thanks that we have come to the end of a year and are beginning anew. We give thanks for all that we have learned, both in challenges and in blessings, that we may ever draw closer to you. We give thanks for Dr. Yong. Yes, we give thanks for him because he took on a powerful task each and every day to really pour himself out and giving us spiritual food and properly inviting us to receive it. And for this, that truly is a blessing. And for this, we raise our voices in gratitude to you. We give thanks for every brother and sister here and those who listen through other means. And in reality, all our brothers and sisters, for they move and are really seeking to accomplish your will as never before. So please be with us as we transfer from the end of one year to another, as we support our true mothers' constant effort to bring victory, especially in Korea, as she is working so hard to bring unification in that land. So in gratitude to you at this time, we come, lift these words up, place them on your altar of grace, offer it up in our names as Blessed Central Families. In my name, Edna Pierre-Louis, Juanita Pierre-Louis, and Jude Pierre-Louis of the Pierre-Louis Blessed Central Family, I report these words to you. Aju.
Aju, thank you, Reverend Edna Louis.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, today is the last day. Your prayer is very meaningful. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Edner. That's right. It's very meaningful. You were the start and the end, almost. So, brothers and sisters, let's go into our gratitude sharing. Let's take the next 7 minutes to reflect upon what we're grateful for this year. It's literally the end of the year, so let's take this time to just reflect, to share, and to prepare our hearts for the next year. So, see you all in 7 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful sharing your breakout. I had one myself with Norikuni and Yuriko Arakawa. I'd like to invite up Norikuni to share with us his gratitude points from the year 2021.
Thank you, Westford. Well, definitely grateful for many things. I mean, it's quite a year, so to speak, and there's only so many points I can share in a couple of minutes, but yeah, upon further reflection, I think the biggest takeaway for me as I'm looking at my notes today, relationship with my parents. I feel like I've gotten to know them more on the emotional level, and kind of moving forward into the next steps of my life, I feel like I'm slowly starting to move forward with them together, and form a deeper relationship with them. I feel like my relationship with Jesus has also been sparked or initiated recently, and that actually led me to have a deeper understanding of God's heart as our heavenly parent. So I'm super grateful for that. And yeah, a lot of new relationships has been built through the youth and the young adults in not only my local Indianapolis Family Church community where I'm from, but through my workplace and through my school as well, thanks to CARP. And lastly, I did want to give my biggest thanks, appreciation, and gratitude to my central figures, whether that is Dr. Yong. Thank you so much, Dr. Yong, for morning devotion for every single day, committing to it, to my dear own pastors, Pastor Hebanja Kisele and Jack Harford, and of course to my Indianapolis Family Church. So God bless to everyone here for joining us today on this last day. And I'm super grateful to be able to share my gratitude.
Yeah, this you well summarized. Thank you so much, Norikuni and Nishikawa. I feel that you are really filial son, and then you have a deeper relationship with your parents. You try to build up relationship with Jesus and others, central figure. Yeah, this is really beautiful. You're sharing about your appreciation. 감사합니다. 노리쿠니 니시카와.
I'm glad you had a wonderful year. Next, I'd like to go to Kimbembi Koko. Kimbembi to share with us her gratitude for this year. You're muted, Kimbembi. There you go.
I was just surprised. Oh, good morning, brother and sister. Good morning, Dr. Yong. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all our brothers and sisters. So
Kim Bambi, long time I did not see you. Now today I'm so happy to see your face.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yong. Nice to see you. And nice being in Australia. Now we're in Australia together. So I was sharing this morning that I'm so grateful. I'm in Atlanta Family Church now. We finished just today our workshop for the young people, winter workshop. We have about 40 young people who came for workshop from our district, from Florida, North Carolina, and then in Alabama, and some children here in Atlanta. It was very good. The children are enjoying, but we get challenged with COVID. Yeah, we buy tests for everybody who will finish to do the test before they go back home. But it's no serious case. It's just making the immune systems more strong by being positive. So it's no fear. And I'm so grateful that all the children participate, and then they will having a new spirit for this new year. And then I'm so grateful for all the sisters who came to help us. Like Doreen came from South Carolina. Michelle Aigushi came to help us in the kitchen. And then Monte from Florida. All this effort and the Pastor Aigushi, we put together that the seminar can be very good. It was organized by the young people themselves, Miami, and some second generation together. So thank you so much that we can be strong today. And thank you so much, brother and sister. Happy New Year. Happy New Year again, Dr.
예, 김뱀비 코코 감사합니다. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you.
예.
Thank you, Bembe, for sharing with us your gratitudes. And yeah, Merry New Year's Eve, everyone. Now we're going to go into our message today. Once again, like always, for the past 432 days, prepared by our Continental Director. Let's welcome up Dr. Chun-sik Yong.
Yes, today I don't want to make mistake. It's okay?
Yes.
Wow.
One shot.
Today is a really happy. Okay, just a moment, please. All right. 안녕하세요. Good morning. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, clergy and members of peace. 안녕하십니까? Today is the last day of this year, all right? Our Yong family ended the year with a family meeting and made new plans for 2022. Every year around this time of year, whenever we look back and reflect on the year, we are always thankful to God, thinking that all the goal of our family that we had hoped for in the past year have been achieved. So we are very much excited, and then all family members gather together to set up new plans centering on 2022. I hope that 2022 will be a very hopeful and very much promising year for you as well. Please set up your own goal. What are you going to do with your family members? Today, I'd like to talk about, again from yesterday, suffering at Danbury and Heung-jin Nim's Seonghwa from True Mother's Book 1. I think also before inviting Heavenly Honey, now he is really every second, every minute, and a lot of the fireworks or sometimes disturb you. I'd like to mention to you these points. So let's invite our Heavenly Honey to read through Mother's Word.
Suffering at Danbury and Heung-jin's Seonghwa. It is important for Unification Church members to live principled lives, and it is also important to work hard to accomplish the missions that you have. The most important mission of the Unification Church is to protect Father's life, so that Father's physical presence on earth will continue for a long, long time. A message sent from a spiritualist from outside the church said that in December 1983, a very dangerous time would come for Father. Spiritual revelations unanimously confirm that Heung-jin became a sacrifice on behalf of Father. In order to save Father's life, Heung-jin went on his behalf. Even the number of terrorists who were aiming at Father was 36. Spiritualists are saying that 36 satanic spiritual agents took the life of Heung-jin. So when I reflect, I feel this is an absolute, final, incredible, extraordinary attack of all satanic forces. When Heung-jin was born as the second son, he went through incredible trauma for 3 days. Some people thought Heung-jin would not make it at birth. He was going through the path of the cross even at his birth. But at his death, I knew he was chosen to do a more sacred mission than anyone under the sun could think of, dying for the sake of Father. Heung-jin knew that through his Seonghwa, the spirit world and the physical world can be more directly united with true parents, and heaven's blessings would come which would speed up the completion of the providence, and that he could send his last comfort to father and his older brother. He is not gone. He is working together with all of you. Think of Heung-jin's message from the past and the present, and do your best to offer your filial hearts to heaven. Even when True Father collapsed under the indescribable weight of the cross on his shoulders, he emerged triumphant and proclaimed Paljanshik and heavenly fatherism in Alaska. And there were circumstances behind it all, which are only known to heaven. As we say goodbye to Grandmother Han Daimonim, I wish to ask something of you. She dedicated her entire life for God's will and gave up everything as a woman to meet the Lord during her lifetime and to attend and work for him. In fact, she even gave up the position of wife and mother to walk the path of the providence unwaveringly. And up to the last moment of her passing, she offered such serious devotions that only heaven and she knew her sacrifice. When you think about her and remember the life she led, you should try to adopt her life of service as an example and a goal for your own lives and live accordingly.
Yes, our Hong Daimonim is one of the great example how to attain heaven, how to attain true parents, how to protect our true parents, how to raise up her daughter through mother as a nanny position. So really, whenever I think about the Daimonim, I really appreciate from bottom of my heart. She's really exemplary and a member. So all our brothers and sisters, we need to inherit Daimonim, that kind of really spirit. And then mother say that, in fact, she even gave up the position of a wife, left from her husband a long time ago, mother to walk the path of the providence. True mother is her daughter, but she never think that she is a true mother's mother. Her position just a position of the nanny. And then her entire life just supporting mother and protecting mother. After true mother holy wedding ceremony with true father, and then her remaining life taking care of the two parents, children. And then after passing away, she come down to the earth again and then walk centering on Cheongpyeong, liberate all our ancestors, liberate our evil spirit. Wow, this is really our Daimonim. She really did incredible, really job and mission for us and for Heavenly Parents. At the same time, I also really appreciate our Heung-jin's sacrifice. If we did not have that kind of sacrificial life, how can we expect something, in spiritual world? Heung-jin, he's the one who went to spiritual world, prepare everything, rearrange the spiritual world, and then working together with the Daimonim side by side, and really protecting our true parents, and also helping us to liberate our ancestors. Wow, really. We really need to appreciate our Daimonim and Heung-jin, where since they passed away, they work more harder than when they were in earthly world. Continue.
You should take this moment as an opportunity to look back upon your own lives and consider whether you ever strayed from the path of the providence, whether you ever thought of yourselves first before you thought of the providence, and whether you ever took care of yourselves and paid attention to your own sorrows before you gave a thought to True Father's sorrowful course of suffering. And you should repent if you have done so. As the rain that falls down on the world cleans away all filth and makes everything clean, During this period, you too shall cleanse your body and mind of your own accord, and clean yourselves of everything that should be cleaned, and rid yourselves of everything that should be gotten rid of, thus renewing your own selves. You should send her off with such thoughts in your mind.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. Focusing on True Mother's word, let's take a look at the meaning of the Seonghwa by Heung-jin Nim in Chanbumogyong. So please read.
The ascension of Heung-jin moon. From December 14 to December 23, 1983, True Parents led victory over communism rallies in 8 major cities in Korea. These rallies were held to thwart North Korea's growing ambition to unify the Korean peninsula under communism. At the final rally in Gwangju, True Father delivered his speech amid rising tensions due to reports that a group had been sent there to assassinate him. On that same day, Heung-jin Moon, True Parents' second son, was badly injured in a traffic accident in the United States. His injuries proved fatal, and he passed away on January 2nd, 1984. At a time of opposition from that Christian nation and the increasing danger of communism, his death became a sacrificial offering. At 4 a.m. on January 3rd, 1984, at the Belvedere Training Center, True Parents proclaimed January 2nd, the day when Heung-jin Moon ascended to the spirit world, as the day of the victory of love. They were able to make this proclamation because when he went the course of a sacrificial offering and triumphed over the realm of death, Heung-jin Moon embodied the standard for a new beginning in which God could take dominion over love.
Yeah. The Father proclaimed the day of the victory of love. I can't imagine when True Parents offered Heung-jin Nim. Can you imagine one of your son die earlier and become sacrificial lamb? Heung-jin Nim is the second son of the True Parents' blood lineage. Can you imagine that? He passed away on behalf of the Father. True Father, he's supposed to die, but because of Heung-jin Nim's, sacrificial offering, finally, True Parents gained the incredible victory. Wow! And then True Father, to send Heung-jin Nim to the spiritual world as an offering, he determined not to cry. And he asked his family members, including True Mother, not to cry because this is a beautiful offering, joyful offering. So True Father could not shed tears until the end of the Seonghwa ceremony. That's why he overcame and he proclaimed the day of the victory of love. And also I heard that after Seonghwa ceremony, you know that Heung-jin Nim Seonghwa and brought Heung-jin Nim's body to Korea, and then I participated at the time Heung-jin Nim's Seonghwa ceremony. And when True Father and True Mother heard that Heung-jin Nim Seonghwa ceremony completely over, and then one of the older brothers shared to us that after Father hearing Heung-jin Nim's Seonghwa ceremony completed in Korea, and then True Father went in his room, locked his room. He said, now as his personal father, and I cry for him. And he is really weeping and weeping and weeping, and how much he cried. Father was a human being. After official ceremony, during the official ceremony, he cannot shed tears. But as a personal father, He cried and cried and cried and cried. Wow. Father, mother. Not just only offering his body and mind and heart, even offering each one of the true children. That was our true parents' sacrificial life. Continue.
Marriage blessing of Heung-jin Moon and the commander of the spirit world. On February 20, 1984, 50 days after Heung-jin Moon's ascension, true parents conducted the marriage blessing of Heung-jin Moon and Julia Moon, Hoon-suk Park, at the Belvedere Training Center. This marriage ceremony brought unity between heaven and earth. True parents had promised their son as he lay dying in the hospital that he would be blessed and have children by adoption. On the foundation of the unification ceremony and the day of the victory of love, they gave him the blessing. Moreover, they bestowed on him the titles of Ambassador of Love and Commander of the Spirit World, and charged him with the mission of liberating the spirit world.
Yes, true parents gave a very, very special mission to him, the title of the Ambassador of Love and Commander of the Spiritual World. Thank you, our beloved Heung-jin. You are really doing incredible job for us. Today, living a divine principle and the life of give and take action. Please read EDP content.
Through the agency of universal prime energy, the subject and object elements of every entity form a common base and enter into interaction. This interaction, in turn, generates all the forces the entity needs for existence, multiplication, and action. The interaction generating these forces through this process is called give and take action.
Yes, recently I'm continuously talking about what does give and take action means, how to apply to our daily life based upon give and receive action. The principle of true love is give first and then receive later. Unprincipled love is take first and then give, or even forget to give back. Based on this EDP content, let's study True Father's word directly. Please read.
To become the give and take action the universe protects. The biggest problem communism is giving the world now is economics theory. Centered on the economy, standing on top of the distribution system, it tries to think of everything as centered on itself. It tries to prevent suffering, loss, no matter what. The US is also trying to prevent its own loss instead of helping other countries. This is the problem. That's why the universe doesn't cooperate with it. If it is for the greater good, the public as a whole, then under this standard, the bigger the counteraction. The universe will protect it, but the more the public, material itself is dropped. If we don't eat well, we get an upset stomach. The give and take between subject and object must be done well, or else it will hurt, just as we hurt when our body is upset. When there is a good give and take in everything, the physical body works smoothly and we continue to survive.
Thank you. No matter what happens to any country, including communism, many countries try not to become a minus for their own country. The United States, too, wants to avoid becoming minus for its own country rather than helping other countries. However, if it is given and shared for the sake of the greater and the whole, the universe protects it. But if the shared object itself is lower to its own property or the standard to which it belongs, the universe strikes as a reaction. If we eat the wrong food, our stomach is upset. And just as if there is the abnormality in the body, it will inevitably cause side effect if the subject and the object do not communicate well. Therefore, you need to be good and give and receive actions. There is a phenomenon that occurs when give and receive very well. First, it must be always one. When you give and receive very well, this one is creating beautiful unity. Always become one. Secondly, you must grow all the time. When you give and take very, very well, then you can grow very well. Thirdly, reproduction must occur. Always multiply. The reason that one cannot become one, does not grow, and cannot reproduce is because something violates the law of giving and receiving desire by the universe. What I'm talking about. And next slide.
God assists all good give and take actions because this universe is his ideal form of existence. Within the elements receiving assistance in this world, if there is an opposing or lacking factor, it becomes disqualified from his realm of assistance and is unable to function. This is for the protection of the universe itself. In this world, there are actions and counteractions. The counteractions are not bad. They are usually seen as bad, but they are actions to protect the bigger things. Therefore, the view to see the world has to change.
Yes. God assists all good give and take action because this universe is his ideal form of existence. Conversely, if you do not give and receive well, the universe will push you away. This is for the protection of the universe itself. In this world, there are actions and then counteractions. The counteractions are not bad actually. They are usually seen as bad, but they are actions to protect the bigger things. Therefore, the view to see the world has to change. If it does not conform to the principle, side effects must occur. If it does not conform to the principle and there are no side effects, it is impossible to determine which is the principle or non-principle. Therefore, it is very important to know for sure that the side effects of certain things are because they are protecting the universe and trying to protect themselves. Therefore, whenever side effect occurs, I have to reflect and be grateful, thinking that the universe is trying to protect me. Our conscience reacts immediately when our principle is violated. So how grateful is our conscience? That conscience always tries to guide us right. For our conscience always seeks to conform to the principle of the universe. Continue.
Our world of conscience or the world of men are suffering. But why do we suffer? It is because we have elements to disqualify us from the universe. The universe expels these elements, which makes us feel conscience-stricken. Even though this is the normal direction, when we stand in a position opposing this, it becomes unable to perform this function, and the counteraction will definitely present itself as pain. The counteraction is directed to hell. Therefore, the highest ideal which humans seek is love. So you have to be able to give and take love well.
Continue.
Because of the fall, we cannot have give and take action with God. The Chinese character of give and take action is give first, receive later. Due to the fall, we stand in the position where the give and take actions letter Su is not to give, but to take. Isn't that why everyone wants to receive? The fall has made everyone become people who want to receive. This is why you who are walking the path of restoration should not have a mind of taking. Do not think of receiving. You must constantly think of giving. If you constantly say you will give for this world, like God, he will follow you.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. The Chinese character of the giving and take action is give first, receive later. Very beautiful meaning. Due to fall of man, they become a group that everyone want to receive. So you don't have the heart to receive. Just think about giving it away. Wake up in the morning and think about what I will give to whom today. I mean to think about what I will give in front of heaven today. Think of it as not having dinner if you don't give anything to anyone at the end of the day. I'm so inspired to hear someone's about the report. He said, when I think back my entire today's entire day, I really did not make anyone happy. I did not really support or living for others. I don't have much appreciation. So for me, I don't have a qualification to having a dinner, and then someone skipped the dinner. He really too much serious. How can I help others? How can I do something for the sake of God's will, for the sake of the public purpose? That much he's seriously thinking. If I do not do anything for others, for heaven or true parents, then I don't have to have a meal. That's why he skipped the dinner. That kind of serious determination. When I hear that kind of beautiful testimony, I am so inspired that God is always with those who struggle to live for that purpose. Just like God, say that you will continue to give for the world. If you give for 10 people will follow. If you give for the country will follow. If you give for the sake of the world, then the world will follow you. If you give for the sake of the universe will follow. If you give for the sake of God, then God will follow. Our responsibility and mission is just giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. Think of giving as long as I breathe and live. As long as I am alive, I can breathe, then my mission is what? Need to give for the sake of God, for the sake of the world, for the sake of my neighbor. Then the opportunity to give will come again and again. And that becomes a habit and then finally become the culture. At first, it is given with a sense of duty. In the beginning, not easy to give, but when you know divine principle, I need to give, really push yourself. Sometimes you give by the sense of the duty and responsibility. But when you continuously try to put your utmost sincerity, it continue to give, then unimaginably joy is accompanied by it. You can, at the end, you can feel it. Wow, this is really, you can find the real meaning of your life of faith. And today's youth ministry are Jesus Cause, Jesus Family, and Providence. I already shared the Moses Cause, and then from today, I'd like to talk about the Jesus Cause. And when I share about something about the Jesus Cause, sometimes True Father say here and there, and then, I collected many testimony from here and there, and then I summarize and also something added my own also experience as well. So let's study Jesus Family and the Providence. Today, I'd like to invite Heavenly Honey to read.
First, we will learn about the providence of Jesus' family. In Jesus' family, who had to be the most artistic partner to Jesus? Without a doubt, it was Jesus' mother, Mary. When Mary conceived Jesus, there was evidence of the spirit world, and she also directly received a revelation from God. When Mary conceived Jesus, she was a virgin and had a faith of longing for God more than anyone else. When Mary conceived Jesus, how old did she seem? If you think about the age Eve fell and True Mother's age during the time of the holy wedding, we can guess that Mary's age at that time would have been 16 or 17.
This is the father's about the sharing about Mary's age, something like that. Okay, continue.
Mary, who conceived Jesus the Messiah, should have known that she had to become the central figure that protected Jesus. Joseph, Mary's fiance, found out that Mary was pregnant and was about to separate. But through a dream, Joseph received a revelation from heaven that Mary did not sin and conceive the child. Rather, she was made pregnant by the Holy Spirit, so he obeyed. In this situation, Mary should have absolutely accepted Jesus and served him. Next, Joseph, who received the revelation from heaven, should have been the second central figure and absolutely attended Jesus. This is not something that should be centered solely on the family of Jesus. It can also be applied in our life of faith. Suppose a person comes into church, listens to the word, and decides to join the church. What is the first thing he should do? It is restoring the physical mother. If their own mother does not join the church and they do not receive support from their mother, that person will face many difficulties.
Yeah, I think this is a very important point. I'm continuing talking about the mothers and son cooperation. When Jesus was born, most important thing is, Mary's mission, Jesus' mother. Mary, no matter what, need to protect Jesus. If Mary do not protect Jesus, and Jesus no way to go. And mother and son's relationship is very, very crucial. So we can apply to in our also daily life or our life of faith. When you join church, and what's the first thing for you to do? You need to get some foundation from your family, because ancestors helping you. And to join our unification church, what is the first step to do? You need to witness your mother. You need to get support from your mother. And then you need to build mothers and son cooperation. And then based on that foundation, you can expand your foundation very quickly. Someone say, oh, my mother already old, or my mother already died, maybe some case like that. Then what to do? If you don't have that kind of the foundation with your mother because your mother passed away, go somewhere, divorce, all different situations, then since you join church, you need to find some mother's figure. And then spiritually, you need to have a mothers and son cooperation very, very well. If you build up that kind of foundation built in spiritual mother and yourself, your life of faith become very, very strong. When I visited to sub-region 4, and then, I had a chance to hear our John Jackson's, beautiful testimony. And John Jackson's mother, Yong 권사님, how witness him. And then Yong 권사님 got a dream, and then, next day, and then, met the John Jackson. And John Jackson at the time really wondering, quite serious situation. However, John Jackson's response to Yong 권사님. And then, John Jackson really appreciate her spiritual mother. That kind of the spiritual mother and spiritual son's cooperation become very strong, inseparable relationship, and then his life of faith become very stable. That's why you need to connect with your spiritual mother's position artistically. Then your life of faith become very, very stable about that. But even though you join church, of course, you love God and you love true parents, you accept divine principle, but emotionally, artistically, you don't have that kind of process or that kind of the relationship with your spiritual parents. Your life of faith is really not easy. You need to overcome by yourself. It takes more than other person's, life. Continuously.
Looking at the principle of mother-child cooperation in the providence of restoration. When you join the church, you must first serve your spiritual mother well while trying to bring your physical mother to the church. Then you must make conditions for mother-child cooperation. This is principled. If you cannot do that, you must start from a position one level below in your spiritual level. This is because if you cannot receive mother-child cooperation, the foundation cannot be established.
Continue.
Jesus' mother, Mary and Joseph, should have accepted him, the Messiah. If his mother and Joseph had formed a trinity and united solidly, what kind of results would it have brought? The sisters, his aunts of his mother Mary, were to cooperate. Also, the environment for Joseph's close brothers to cooperate was supposed to be created. If Joseph and Mary had united, God would surely have given them many revelations according to the progress of heaven's providence at that time. In fact, if Mary and Joseph had become one, there would have been no need for Jesus to leave home and perform signs and miracles. Rather, the amazing work of God must have come from Mary and Joseph.
It's very important, my brothers and sisters. When Mary received the revelation, okay, and then she pregnant the baby of Jesus, and then she has at that time really strong and absolute faith toward God. Otherwise, how come as a virgin and can have a baby? This is really, at the time, Maria faced like at risk her whole life. According to at the time Jewish tradition, can you imagine before marriage, you are pregnant? Wow, can you imagine about that? How she survived. At the time, she was a really strong determination. No matter what, I want to follow God's commandment, God's direction. And then finally she did. And then finally she get out from Zachariah family and don't know where to go. And then Joseph received the inspiration from the heaven. You need to really accept the Mary, right? So Joseph received the inspiration, and Mary also received the inspiration. Actually, they engaged with each other before. Can you imagine that? Both of them, when they received the God's inspiration and revelation in the beginning, their motivation is very, very good. However, not all the time Holy Spirit, when they came to the reality, and Joseph started to doubt. And when it is according to, father sharing and, Joseph started to doubt. Hey, Mary, who is this baby? This baby come from where? Who is this baby's father? Keep on asking again and again and again and again. Can you imagine living together with Joseph? Not easy to protect about Jesus at the time. And then can you imagine? According to Father's guidance, Joseph do not make a relationship with Mary. You need to protect Jesus. Protect Mary. However, can you imagine using one bedroom as a boy and girl living together? How can control his love desire? Not only one day, not only 1 month, not only 1 year. Can you imagine about that? and then really for him, not to control his desire as well. And then he started out when he received the inspiration from God, and then he absolutely obeyed. However, when he realized the reality, no more Holy Spirit, and horizontally asked, Mary, who is this baby? Come from where? This kind of struggling. And then, of course, in the beginning, maybe reject. In the beginning, whenever Joseph approached to Mary to have a relationship, maybe in the beginning, maybe she rejected. But not only one day, not only 1 month, not just only 1 year. Man and woman living together, how can manage very well? And then both of them could not keep God's commandment and struggling each other. And then, they relate to more reality. And then finally they made a relationship, struggling each other, and no more Holy Spirit. Once Holy Spirit left, they become very much humanistic. Very much humanistic because God is no more there. That's the problems. I really understand Mary's situation and Joseph's situation. However, Mary and Joseph, they need to leave Mary's case as the nun. And then Joseph need to live as a priest without relationship. That's the way to protect the Messiah. However, they could not do that. And then problems come from there. If Joseph and Mary completely unite together, and then they keep really holy body, really become holy of the holy, if there is a oneness, Joseph and then Mary and Jesus, where there is a oneness, God always can intervene. And giving the inspiration, what's the next step? What's the next step? What you are going to do? This is the power of the unity and power of the oneness. When you have the oneness between mind and body, God surely intervene you and you receive inspiration, and then you are no more struggling. You know how to overcome. You know how to deal with the reality. Same things. There is a oneness and unity between husband and wife together. No worry what's the next step in the future. God definitely intervene. This is a condition to make the oneness and unity. God directly intervene. But once they break that kind of the relationship between God and themselves, God cannot intervene anymore. Become humanistic, my brothers and sisters. Okay, read, continue.
If Mary and Joseph had created such a foundation for Jesus from the family, the priests, deacons, and elders who were praying in the synagogue in Capernaum, where Jesus often went at that time, would have begun to receive revelations about who Jesus was. In this way, if Jesus' family had believed in Jesus and his relatives had believed in him, it would have created an atmosphere in which the entire church could believe in Jesus. Centering on Jesus, if Mary and Joseph had first united with Jesus and then the relatives united, the praying wives of the synagogue of Capernaum, where Jesus often went, would have received a revelation from God and accepted Jesus. And in the end, even the chief priests who played a central role in the church would have believed in Jesus. When such an internal atmosphere was created, God would have let the closest people know that Jesus has come as the Messiah. From there, God's history would have officially begun. If Jesus' family and relatives of Jesus united and the church united, the holy marriage of Jesus would automatically take place before Jesus went out into society and became known throughout the country. Jesus would have been able to establish his family. In this way, if Joseph believed, Mary believed, relatives believed, church wives believed, and then high priest believed more than the 12 disciples, and then externally, the temple leaders accepted the Lord, then based on the number 12, centering on Jesus, the Messiah's family was about to begin. True Father said that Jesus' 12 disciples should have been the prepared relatives and high priests.
Yeah, that's why my brother says the family, how much important. Unity between husband and wife. That is the best way to protect children. There is no unity between husband and wife, no way to protect children. Jesus' miserable life begins from the family, begins from the relationship between Joseph and his mother, Mary. Wow. All the problems in the family, Adam family. Cain killed Abel. Noah's family. The relationship between father and children problem. The relationship between Noah and his wife. Jacob, Abraham, everything in the family. That's why family is a front line. Especially the relationship between husband and wife is really crucial. Really crucial. My brothers and sisters, no need to talking about the relationship between Cain and Abel, no need to talk about your relationship with your neighbor or outside or job place. Your front line is in your family. If you're doing very well in your family, you go to society, you go anywhere, your job place, you can win over it. Wow. I again realized the importance of the family. Continue.
If that had happened, Jesus' national providential course would have begun. If the national course of the providence began centered on Jesus, who would be the central figure for Jesus? It had to be the high priest of Jerusalem. If that had happened, even the Roman rulers would be brought to submission, and it would have developed into the worldwide providence. Is Jesus' family had believed in him, Jesus could have started a family at that time and could have entered Rome with his children. If Jesus had gone to Rome and established the foundation for the Messiah on the worldwide level, he would have been able to dispatch many young followers from Rome to countries around the world. To do so, God would bless Rome, developing Rome into a world capital at that time and allowing all nations to travel to and from Rome. Having to accomplish God's will on this earth, Jesus had to enter the kingdom of Rome. At that time, the Roman power was very strong. God's providence cannot establish the able nation without bringing the Cain nation to submission. However, because the family centered on Jesus could not become one, Jesus had to go on the pioneering path alone without any foundation.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. You know, the reason we learn centering on Jesus' family is the importance of the family. And the most important is in the family is mother and child cooperation. The foundation of mother-child cooperation is ultimately the foundation which the central figure prepared by heaven can make a new start. Just look at Isaac and his mother, Sarah, Jacob and his mother, Rebecca, Joseph and his mother, Rachel, Moses and his mother, true father and Chungmonim, and true mother and Demonim. Ultimately, the mother and child foundation become crucial in whether heaven's providence fails or succeeds. We cannot deny this fact. That's why, my brothers and sisters, very, very important, mother and son and cooperation. Final slide. We must strengthen foundation of a mother and child in our own life of faith. First, the believer must restore the relationship with their mother and create mother-child foundation centered on heaven, and then restore my own brothers and sisters who have not yet been restored. For my case, my mother received inspiration. When I joined church, 1 week later, she became church member. I think our ancestor can help me. And because of this mother and son cooperation, and then based on mother's trust me and support me, I witnessed my younger brother, I witnessed my younger sister, my family. Because of mother's supporting, I really realized this principle can apply everywhere. Mother and son cooperation is really crucial. Next, in the church, the relationship with the spiritual mother should be strengthened, and mother-child cooperation centered on faith should be created with the church. Then receive the blessing, and while raising your own children, you must establish an inseparable mother and child cooperation relationship. Then all children will remain within the God's will and become children who can receive a blessing. That's why Archangel position all my brothers, including me. Your job and my job as the Archangel position. How can we protect our wife position? How can we protect our mother? And we need to really invest in loving the mother, let them fulfill their mission, and then really they work together as a mother-son cooperation. This is the really key point. I learned from our divine principle. My brothers and sisters, let's raise up very well based upon mothers and son cooperation. Thank you very much.
Dr. Young, for today's morning devotion. Keyword today is unity. Unity between a father, just within the four position foundation. And so that's really what I'm getting. When that's strengthened, anything can happen. And also thinking about what could have been if Jesus was accepted as the Messiah. This whole world would have changed. And so if we unite now, in 2,000 years' time, everything will be possibly what God wanted it to be.
Thank you, good MC.
Let's go into our breakouts now. Please reflect. Please digest anything that Dr. Young just said and share with each other in the breakouts. We'll see you all in 7 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful sharing. I had a great sharing with Anne-Marie Myler and Hermine Okoth, actually very deep, very intimate, just about where we're at right now at this time. Since we didn't really talk about the reflection of morning devotion, I wanted to call on Hannah Bush. Hannah, to share with us a reflection from today's morning devotion.
Good morning. Yes, good morning, Dr. Yong, everybody. I was really grateful for this morning devotion. I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm learning so much. It's like this content, divine principle content we're learning is so advanced and artistic. And so, yeah, it's like, wow. But I think even just a little like bit from each, like true parents, learning in the beginning about true parents, how difficult learning about how they had to digest their emotions, like even though they were in so much pain, like it had to be a joyful offering. I can't imagine like how that must feel. I know how difficult it is for me to like shift my emotions. I'm very emotional. And just like learning more about their heart, and from the giving and receive education, I think for me, sometimes it's difficult to persevere, to keep giving through the times when it still feels like duty. And like I really believe that I'll ever experience that, like, oh yeah, joy in giving, because I'm still really young in my faith. So I'm still like navigating it. I have to like really practice with faith because I haven't experienced so much yet. But I'm grateful for what you're teaching us. And I'm also grateful for the education about Jesus. Like I'm learning more like how much like in principle it's really like everything is based on the family, and like Jesus was never supposed to be alone. And like when we read in the Bible and like Christians talking about Jesus and all these miracles and everything, and they don't say so much about the family, but actually like I'm learning like in God's ideal it should have been centered on the family. And like how much that would have changed everything, and like how much like everything successful comes from like unity in the family, or unity in like the 4-position foundation. So like just learning about this, I'm learning more like, oh, this is how the principle works. So I'm really grateful for you teaching us, and it's New Year's in Australia, but thank you so much.
Anna, thank you so much. You're beautiful and sharing. You are young, but you really sharing people's content. Thank you so much, Hannah. And you need to, when in the future you can have a beautiful and mothers and son cooperation, need to raise up your children very well. You need to have that kind of vision and idea. Then surely God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Also, I want to thank my mom, because my mom supports me so much.
Hey, great.
Thank you.
You are filial daughter. Thank you. Let's Fred, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Hannah, for such a deep, insightful, heartfelt sharing this morning. And now we're going to go into the final sharing for the year 2021. I couldn't really figure out who to pick, but I don't know if we call it the family of the year, but they've been very much all been on morning devotion pretty much the whole year. Today, they're united in the hotel room. I know they're laughing. They know I'm going to call them. It's the Portlands and the Lalone family in the hotel room. Please unmute and share with us a reflection from today's morning devotion.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you. Yeah, I can start.
The whole family members. Wow, great.
We were in our breakout. We were just reflecting on how it was kind of saddening to reflect on how Jesus had to pioneer the path all on his own, and what would have, how the providence could have started, the national providence could have started then, and how He could have, if his family would have united, and he got the support from his mom and from Joseph, how the 12 disciples could have been his closest relatives and the high priest. And it just makes you think of what could have happened and how we have such a strong responsibility right now to succeed in this foundation. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Beside you, Chris today face your face look like Jesus.
There we go. For myself, I'm just, listening to Jesus's course, you start to realize more and the importance of when you're talking about the mother-child relationship, and it just shows you how important it was. If Jesus would have had the support, like David was saying, and it would have been really different, but like David was saying, he had to do it himself. He had to establish everything on his own. And so it's very interesting. And so I'm really grateful for morning devotion, because it's just like a different side of everything. And I'm just learning. I'm learning so much. So thank you. Thank you, Dr. Yong.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, anyone want to share more?
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of iterate what the boys just mentioned. It starts with the family. And to me, it's really important that we focus on the family, because if we don't have that principled understanding, we can't help anybody. Nobody's going to look at it and say, I want that. So we're together with the Porterhouses, and we've been together since my spiritual father witnessed it to me. Now we're raising our kids together. We drove 10 hours to come and be with them just so that we could be together. And to us, that's the family. That's the sacrifice, giving and not looking to receive anything but joy and happiness.
Yeah.
And my wife is at home with her two sons, and she's learning some stuff. She's building the bond with them together this morning. So I was texting her back and forth saying, this is what you need to be doing. So I'm with the daughters, she's with the sons. Dr. Young, you've given us so much content we can actually go on for years and years and years to practice. Thank you so much for bringing us all together, and all your staff also. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think you are really, all the children and gathered together, hearing beautiful your testimony. 감사합니다. Because of time limit, thank you so much, your family, for your beautiful sharing. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalonde. Thank you, Portland's family. Give you the family of the year together with the Tadden family and a few others, maybe the Hanmi family, the Bowman family as well. Thank you all for joining Morning Devotion this year. It's been really, really awesome to have you all here. And hopefully next year we can do the same for the next, now 6 years, no longer 7 years, right? Now it's 6 years. We're moving on. Okay, on to our announcements for today. If you're feeling like you gained anything from today's morning devotion, if you're inspired, feel free to invite people to join. Everyone is making New Year's resolution, so now's a good time. Maybe just sneak in there and get them to put it on their list to join in on Morning Devotion Experience. You can go to edu.familyfed to find out about everything. It includes a Zoom room as well if you want to join here. If you'd like to donate, there's going to be a link in the chat. Please click that to support Morning Devotion, as well as if you're online, just go to the link in the description. There should be the link right here in the description of the on the YouTube or the Facebook video. Just click it and you should be able to donate to this ministry. And now for our musical offering, like I said, it's the final morning devotion of this year, meaning the final musical offering for 2021, the solar calendar. We'll probably have one for the lunar calendar. But you know him. You've heard him sing several times. He's probably the most patriotic person on morning devotion. It's John Kirkley. Probably probably still in Kenya.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, John Kirkley from Kenya.
From Kenya.
Yeah.
So Dr. Yong and John Kirkley are in the southern hemisphere. As Canada and America go into snow and winter, we're getting into the long, hot, dry season here.
Okay.
So heretofore, I've had a song for Dr. Yong, but today I have some Freude for my Freunde, for Christoph Wilkening, my MFT captain, for Klaus Schick, for Christine Jones, for all our German and European brothers and sisters. Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. All thy works with joy surround thee, earth and heaven reflect thy rays. Stars and angels sing around thee, center of unbroken praise. Field and forest, vale and mountain, flowery meadow, flashing sea. Chanting bird and flowing fountain, call us to rejoice in thee. Freude schöner Gott erfunken, Tochter aus Elysium. Wir betreten feuertrunken, himmlische dein Heiligtum. Deine Zauber binden wieder, was die Mode streng geteilt. Alle Menschen werden Brüder, wo dein sanfter Flügel weilt. Thou art giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed. Wellspring of the joy of living, ocean depth of happy rest. Thou our Father, Christ our brother, to all who live in love are thine. Teach us
La 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 la.
us to the joy divine. Mortals join the mighty chorus, which the morning stars began. Father love is reigning o'er us, brother love binds man to man. Ever singing march we onward, victors in the midst of strife. Joyful music leads us onward in the triumph song of life.
Wow! John Coakley, thank you. Another morning devotion. Thank you so much. God bless you. Happy New Year. Yes, Fred. Okay. Okay.
You get the award for most patriotic person in morning devotion. I'm surprised you don't have the American flag this time, but that flag is great. It's wonderful as well. Brothers and sisters, on to the final portion of today's morning devotion, our closing prayer. Please raise your hand if you'd like to offer it. Just joking. I'd like to ask this time, Hanmi Bowman, Hanmi, if you could please close it off in prayer.
Yep, I figured that was good.
Hey, Hanmi Heung-jin!
Good morning!
Hey, good morning! Thank you.
Eve, 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
예, 고마워요. 감사합니다.
Please join me in prayer. My kid might join too. Dear most beloved heavenly parents, wow, it's the end of a new year, end of an old year and on to a new year with new beginnings that you can see. May everyone be, I hope that everyone will have great fortune with this upcoming year. We'll all learn so much of all of the course of history of how the Bible has definitely shaped the course of history to bring about better families, to bring about better relations with other people on this planet. And it's wonderful to see that that all of us are starting to get it, growing our hearts, growing our minds so that we can accept each other as brothers and sisters. and also finding out where human beings really need to work towards getting back to you. Thank you for this entire year. It has been a blessing to be on morning devotions. It's been a blessing to really get to meet all of our brothers and sisters. And may we have an even better year with even more interactions in this upcoming year of 2022. Thank you so much. And I would like to offer up this prayer in my name, Hani Elizabeth Bowman, member of a blessed Central family, Jew.
Wow, honey, yeah, your praise final of this year. Thank you so much, honey and Heung-jin and all beautiful children, Bowman family. 감사합니다. God bless you. Happy New Year. And also, my dear brothers and sisters, our Gilbert Star, I think they just ascended to spiritual world. And then we need to really pray for him. I really, really love him so much. My heart is aching. I could not participate in his Seonghwa ceremony. My dear brothers and sisters, let's pray for him. Also, recently, some of the brothers and sisters also passed away. Let's pray also for them as well. Thank you, my dear brothers and sisters. Happy New Year!
Next year. Bye-bye.
Thank you.